Hey guys, it's Joe, and it's time for a Puck Up with Joe. I hope everyone is having a beautiful, it's Tuesday out there. It feels like a Wednesday. I don't know why. I wish we were that much closer to the weekend and Thursday night football, but we've got a slate of games on the board in the NHL today. Got 7 games here today. Yesterday, I totally crushed it in a bad way. The books crushed me yesterday. Not a good one. I was chasing, I think, too much plus money. Montreal letting that one go really hurt. I thought they were going to take that one. Edmonton not able to step up to the plate either last night. That one really shocked me if I looked at all the games that shocked me out there. It was a hard card. It looked like it was an easy one with a lot of these favorites coming in. It's not what we saw yesterday on the card, but let's make some money today. I appreciate each and every one of you that is here right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch. You guys make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to interact in the comments, come on over to either Facebook or YouTube, and I can see all of your comments here at once. Edmonton over 2.5 was a gift yesterday. They gave us a free money with that. We were lucky. We got some free money, but yes, Gil, I am with you. Edmonton absolutely killed me yesterday. And I sat here and I said, if Edmonton kills me, I don't know what I'm going to do about this team. I'm glad to hear you won some money with Vegas. The Bruins going down to Vegas. Now that one went to overtime. I am shocked. Bruins lost on their home ice. Now these two will be facing off again. I believe it is a tomorrow night, if memory serves me right. Edmonton is dead to us. Can we just all go there and just say Edmonton is dead to each and every one of us? And let's just forget about them for the rest of the season. I would love to do that. I cannot believe how poor they came out offensively in that game last night. But we can talk about all the bad beats we had last night because I had 1 million. It feels like Monday Night Football. I could not take the Saints plus the points. I should have taken the Saints plus the points. I chased that plus money on the money line. Really let me down there. Really also thought we'd see Alvin Kamara have a bigger night. I was taking him for the anytime touchdown. Mike Evans wasn't a target for Brady as well. It just was one of those sore nights, but got Brady for that anytime pick. It's always nice to make some money fading the GOAT. He is my kryptonite, you guys, with the Patriots as well. He's been my kryptonite since he was with the Patriots. But let's get to some hockey. We have the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the New Jersey Devils. This one kicks off at 7 o'clock Eastern. Total sitting at 6.5 in this one. Now Vanek expected here for the New Jersey Devils. He has a 2.24 goals against average. Sondheim Bloom expected here for the Chicago Blackhawks. He's got a 3.21. When we look at this, we're seeing the Blackhawks roll in here off that loss to the Islanders. The Islanders got the shutout win. And we're seeing the Devils roll in. They played Saturday versus the Philadelphia Flyers. They weren't able to blow them out, but they still got the win 3-2. We look at these teams just so different, especially defensively. And I know offensively as well, the Devils are really dominating, but defensively, I think is the biggest issue for the Chicago Blackhawks, allowing that 3.58 goals per game and 34.9 shots on goal. We look at the Devils, they are doing phenomenally well, second best overall at the allowed goals per game at 2.28. And the shots on goal at 26.5. So I do think the Devils defense is going to control this game. But that being said, I do think because of the weakness of the Chicago Blackhawks, we're going to see another big night out of the Devils here. I think offensively, we can count on them to come out and get these goals. When we're looking at their team total, it is high at 4. I know I was writing some of these team totals yesterday over that 3.5, over that 4 that didn't cash, like the Calgary Flames. They were still able to get the win, but there is no other value here. Even hitting them, their team total over 4, we're still paying some juice at minus 110. I think it's the best way and the strongest way to go in this game because we know the Devils have cashed us so much money. We can't take them straight up at minus 410. We can't even take them on that puck line. And you've got to remember the Chicago Blackhawks have played strong on that puck line, going 13-11, but I can't trust this team here. They're 5-12 in their last 17 in New Jersey. So I think the New Jersey Devils come in here, steamroll. At worst, this is a 4-0. win for the Devils. And we push on that total over 4. But I think this is probably a 5-0 or a 5-1 style of game. And because I can't really trust on the Blackhawks here to get these goals, because I do think it's going to be hard on Vanek tonight, who only has a 2.24 goals against average. With them being a shutout in their loss to Islanders, I can see the Devils shutting them out as well. The Devils defensively are a stronger team than the Islanders. So I think the Blackhawks are in for a long one here. I'm going to take the Devils team total over 4.5. Stay off the full total for the game. You could take the Devils here on the extended puck line at -2.5 if you like as well, because I do think the Blackhawks just will not get anything done in this game. I think it's going to be a long night for them. But based on how my picks went yesterday, you should just fade it and take the Blackhawks here for the straight up win. That's how I'm feeling getting these bets. I'm so glad you guys are not taking a -400 odds. That is great to see for sure. Yeah, I think the Devils to win that first period definitely is a really strong way to go. When we look at the Chicago Blackhawks coming into New Jersey, they have lost the last 7 first periods in New Jersey. So taking the Blackhawks or taking the Devils here to get that first period win, if you're getting that value, is definitely a very strong way to go. Yeah, you guys take the Devils in the first period. Absolutely. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, and before I move on to the next one, actually, look at Jack Hughes to score that anytime goal. He scored at least 1 goal in 4 of the Devils' last 5 games. We know we got Jack Hughes big. He's going on a run right now. He got his hat trick and he's just been rolling with momentum. This young kid is playing with so much fire. I would take Jack Hughes again. His shots on goal or that anytime goal. I'd probably do the shots on goal because we know he has just been dominating so much with those goals. We know those shots are going to come in as long as it's not too highly juiced. I just haven't looked at the value on that one yet, but I can at the end of the show. The next game on the board, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, this one kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern. We have a total of 6.5 in this. Columbus coming in at +230, -285 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is a tricky one. So Elvis is back for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, I see him going one or another way. He's either going to come out and be able to stand on his head off of this injury. He has a terrible, terrible record for a starting goalie. He's 4.74 goals against average. He went 2-5 before his injury. I think he's healthy, though. I think they're putting him out because he is ready to play, and this team has faith in him here to come out. Looking at this line, it's really, really hard not to do something with the Columbus Blue Jackets, because even on the puck line, we are getting value at +1.5 for the Columbus Blue Jackets. We're getting -105 for their team total over 2.5, because I do think this is a higher scoring game. Even with Tristan Jarry in for the Penguins is a -112. So with them coming in here off that loss to the Red Wings on Sunday, it is a hard pill to swallow. They lost that one to the Red Wings 4-2. Both teams, it's really interesting. I look at everyone's schedule when I'm handicapping my games. So I pull up, who they played, who they have on deck. Both of these teams have the Penguins on deck. No, sorry. They both have the Sabres. I'm talking about the Penguins. They both have the Sabres on deck. So the Penguins play the Sabres on Friday and in Buffalo, and then the Columbus Blue Jackets Wednesday, and Columbus will be at home for that one. So interesting who they have on deck. Now, when we look at who won the last matchup between these two, it was just October 22nd, and the Pittsburgh Penguins came out flying. They got a 6-3 win there. It's a hard one to take Columbus in this situation. They're coming in off 1 day's rest, which they are not strong. But when we look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, they have had 2 days rest coming into this. They're 1-5 in their last 6 coming in on those 2 days rest. They're also 1-4 in their last 5 versus the Eastern Conference. I've got to, with the value, take the Columbus Blue Jackets to keep this one tighter. I think they have every opportunity to come into this if Elvis comes out the way that I expect him. And that's what it's all going to come down to. Now, when I look at this game, neither of these defenses have been playing strong enough for me to take this under. I know Tristan Jarry is so good in net for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but I think we also have to look. If this one is to be a Columbus game, it coincides with the over, because although Elvis will have to stand on his head in this one, Tristan Jarry has to let those goals come in. We know Elvis is going to let a couple come in. He's not going to come out and be just a stud and all of a sudden get a shutout. If he does, I'll eat my words. But I do think we go over that 6.5. Both of these teams allowing these shots on goal, with the Penguins allowing 33.8. And the Columbus Blue Jackets allowing that 36.3, which is 31st overall in the league, and allowing 3.96 goals per game. And the Penguins at 3.12. Yeah, I've heard there is some illnesses going around. So it's definitely one where you want to, if you have faith that this Columbus team can come out strong, like I'm thinking, it all depends on Elvis here, you guys. And that's the hardest thing. You've got to try to think in your head how you think this goalie is going to come out. Everyone kept talking about how the worst goalie overall in the league, worst record in the league before his injury. He goes out with injury. We know Elvis excelled in certain situations last season. I think he's healthy and he's ready. I think they gave him extra time to mentally prepare to get back to. And I think they brought him into a game that they thought that he could win. So I'm going to go with the fact that I think Elvis is going to be strong tonight. We haven't talked about Marner yet. Okay, next game on the board. Yeah, if Malkin does play, he's one that you could look for that anytime goal as well for the Penguins. I'm not sure if he will play. So that would be once you find out if he's playing. If he does come out, he does have some injuries. So I'd look at his or illness going around. I would look at his shots on goal. But when we look at him versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, he has got a goal in 3 of their last 4 games between each other. So he plays really strong against the Columbus Blue Jackets. If he's out, I like Columbus even more in this game. I think it should be a really strong game for Columbus if those 2 players are out. The Detroit Red Wings and the Tampa Bay Lightning kick off at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, we have the Red Wings coming in here at plus 190. The Tampa Bay Lightning at minus 235. With the Lightning struggling this season on that puck line, going 9-15, 7-5 on the puck line at home. We have the Red Wings 12-12 on the puck line, 6-4 on the road. This is a hard one. I'm going to say Vasilevsky expected for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now he's got a 2.78 goals against average, and Husso expected for the Red Wings with a 2.58. We have to look at how strong Tampa is. And I know that they got that overtime win over the Leafs on Sunday. They've won their last 2. And the Red Wings are rolling in here off a win over the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-2. Limited penalty time in the box, which is good for them because the Tampa Bay Lightning really capitalize on their power plays. I think that the stronger team overall, even though their numbers really don't look that different, I think these 2 are in 2 different leagues for talent-wise. Now, the Tampa Bay Lightning have won their last 8 as a favorite. They've covered the puck line as a favorite in their last 5 games following overtime. I've got to look at the Tampa Bay Lightning here on the puck line to get a nice big win here at home. I think this is going to be a hard game for the Red Wings. The Red Wings also have struggled versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, going 13-39 in the last 52 meetings. Now, we have seen some area of strength for the road team going 4-1 in those last 5 meetings, but I'm not buying into it. I think when we look at the Red Wings, when we dig down into those numbers, they've gone 4-23 in the last 27 meetings in Tampa Bay. So they're not the ones that have had the advantage. It's been Tampa going into Detroit. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning here on that puck line. I also like their over 3.5. I think they see the goals coming in on Husso tonight. Now, when we look at the Red Wings, they're allowing that 3.08. Husso only allowing that 2.58. But I think with the ability of the power play by the Tampa Bay Lightning, them averaging 3.5, they go over this number tonight. With that said, I don't love the full game over in this one. And the reason why is I don't know if I trust in the Red Wings to be able to get these goals on Vasilevsky and the defense of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, their defense isn't completely doing what I expected out of them. I want to see their numbers drop. They are allowing 3.08 goals per game on average. I want to see this get down to 2.5. I really want this defense to step up. They have to start getting these block shots on goal. I just think in this game, I can't see the Red Wings doing a lot here. They did win the last matchup. That was back last April, but I'm not buying it. I'm going to take, like, if I had to take a total for the full game, I would look at that under, because I think this is a 4-0, 4-1 style game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I just don't think the Red Wings have enough in the tank to get this one done. Now, the last 4 first periods as an underdog for the Red Wings, they have lost. So looking at the Tampa Bay Lightning in that first period on that puck line at minus 0.5 is coming in for some beautiful plus money. And this is probably my favorite bet of the game, to look for the Tampa Bay Lightning to come out hot out of the gate, get up by a goal in that first period, and then for things to calm down a little bit in the second and third. So give me Tampa in the first period as the best bet in this one on that puck line. Tampa in regulation minus 150 isn't terrible. I agree with you. So if you like to go up to minus 150, I don't blame you. I stay around minus 144 as the highest I go. You're getting Tampa to win the first period at plus 125. That is beautiful odds. I'm only getting plus 116 on that puck line. So if you can get that, definitely hit it. And for the rest of you guys, make sure you always shop these lines over at Betstamp. Use referral code Madden to get your best value. It is definitely what you want to do, because between plus 116 and plus 125, that is 9 points, you guys. You want to get the best line. I want your line. Tell us where you're getting plus 125, because that's where I want to shop it. But you guys check out Betstamp. That will tell you as well where to shop it. Okay. The LA Kings taking on the Ottawa Senators. Now, this is one where automatically this morning I took the LA Kings. Odds have changed in this game. Let me see how much they've changed. So LA was minus 111 this morning, now minus 102, minus 120 for the Ottawa Senators. They were minus 108 earlier this morning. Cam Talbot expected for the Ottawa Senators here. He has a 2.5 goals against average. We have Phoenix Copley confirmed in goal for the LA Kings. Now, if you're going, who? Everyone is going who. Now, he was called up from the AHL on Thursday. He has played 31 games in the NFL. And in the NFL, he has a save percentage of .900. He is a solid goalie. In the AHL, it doesn't roll easy off the tongue. That's why it's not the main league. He's gone 16, 9, and 3. So he's been solid, 2.98 goals against average. We know the league is harder in the NHL versus the AHL. That's why he gets called up. But I do think we see a solid performance out of him. I can't believe I'm going to still take the LA Kings. That's where I rode with earlier before, when I really thought we'd see Jonathan Quicken. I'm actually kind of excited for some new blood in here. I think what we're going to see is the LA Kings defense step up. Now, they're only allowing that 29.4 shots on goal, which is 7th best overall in the league. I think with a goalie that's just been brought up from the AHL, we see this team really support and play a better defensive game in this one and give that goalie the support, because they know that is going to be such a question mark, this goalie on the ice. So I'm looking for them to support him. I'm looking for the defense to step up. This defense really needs to step up. They're allowing that 3.59 goals per game. And like I said, they're doing solid, though, defensively, holding opponents to that 29.4 shots on goal. They just have to do a better job of giving protection to Phoenix coming out here. Again, his name is Phoenix Copley. So I think he's gonna have a solid one here. Now, when we look at the Kings, they're averaging that 3.35 and 32.4 shots on goal. Cam Talbot for the Ottawa Senators, we know he has done better as the season's gone on, and this team is averaging that 3.13. This team is explosive offensively. They've got a stronger power play and a solid face-off, but they're off that big win. We saw them on the weekend. What day? I can't remember what day it was. It was Saturday. So they played the Rangers Friday night. They got that big emotional win. We then took them on Saturday, even though they had to travel back home, and everyone and their mother was telling you to bet the Sharks to get the win as the dog. We took the Ottawa Senators on that puck line for beautiful plus money, and it cashed. They're off of those two nice wins. This is the Ottawa Senators, you guys. We know they can't continue to get these big wins. I don't see them beating the LA Kings, still sitting third in the Pacific. So give me the LA Kings here on that money line, minus 102 on the money line. The Kings coming in off rest also play a really solid game. They've gone 5-2 in their last 7 games, playing on 2 days rest. And the Senators coming in off rest as well. They struggle off of this rest, going 17-36 in the last 53 games, playing on 2 days rest. So I'm going to fade the Senators here, something that you don't really see me do a lot in certain situations because I do believe in this team offensively. But they are 2-7 in their last 9 home games as well. And in my fade of the Senators, I have to take the under 6.5 to think the Kings defense can really step up and control this game. 10 of the Senators' last 11 games have gone under the total. And between these two, 5 of the last 7 meetings have gone under, and we have got that one push. And in Ottawa, 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone under the total, with one of those being a push. Let's move on to the next game. You guys, I'm just going to see your comments here. I am so glad you and your daughter made it. Big shout out to you guys. I hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. I appreciate you guys joining me here on Puck It with Joe. Let's see. That was about 30 minutes ago, though. Oh, at the plus 125. Okay, you got the plus 125 at Bet365 about 30 minutes ago. Gotcha. Yeah, these lines move hard and fast, you guys, so make sure you shop them. Always get that value. Okay. Yeah, we're going with the AHL goalie to get this win. I know it is scary, but like I said, I think the defense of the Kings really step up and protect Phoenix Copley. Copley is his last name. I'm always just going to remember Phoenix. I don't know why. The next game on the board, we have the St. Louis Blues and the New York Islanders. Now, this Blues team is so frustrating, to say the least. They're coming in here at plus 140, minus 170 for the Islanders. I can't trust in this Blues team at all. They're going on like these win-lose streaks. I don't know when they're going to win or lose. They're 11-14 on the season, 9-16 on that puck line. Fading them on the puck line definitely has been an advantage to most people. I don't think we've got a lot of value taking the other teams on that puck line. The last time these two teams played was November 3rd. It was a 5-2 win for the New York Islanders. Sorokin is expected tonight, which is a great thing for the Islanders. He has a 2.17. I know I've said in some situations, Sorokin, we can trust the other team to get some goals on him, which we can in certain situations, but this Blues team, I don't know if I can trust them offensively. They're only averaging that 2.83 goals per game and 29.9 shots on goal. Now, when we look at the defense of the Islanders, they have been so solid, allowing 2.54 goals per game and only 32.1 shots on goal. They are at home in this one, and they're coming in on 1 day's rest. They're 4-0 in their last 4 games on 1 day's rest. They're strong at home, come in rested, have a solid goaltender expected. I got to lean on the Islanders. I know that the Blues are really strong in this kind of scheduling situation. We've seen them go 5-1 in their last 6 games in playing in a 4-6 situation. So tired legs really don't come into play for this team. It kind of ignites them. They get momentum going. It's like they need to just be gelling as a team on that ice continuously. Also 4-1 in the last 5 in a 3-4 situation. But how can I trust this Blues team right now that also has struggled in New York? They've gone 1-5 in their last 6 meetings in New York. I can't trust them to save my life. What I am going to look at, though, is just looking at this under. The under 6, I think, is an excellent way to play this. My only concern is if the Islanders light up the net tonight, which I don't think they will. This team, while they're averaging that 3.15, does play a solid defensive game. I don't see them exploding there. And I do expect the Blues defensively to step up. The only way the Blues can win this game, and that's why it's kind of leaned to the Islanders, is if they really step up defensively and really change their gameplay to more of a defensive game. We know they're not averaging these goals. The under has hit in the last 6 meetings in New York as well. So I think this under is a strong way to go. The Islanders 6-1 in the last 7 overall to the under. The Blues versus teams with winning records have gone 7-2 to that under in their last 9 with teams with winning records. Yes, Greece is expected here for the Blues. So let's look for a solid game out of the Blues. He has a 3.7 or 5.7 goals against average, which is my only concern. And I don't know if I'd hit the Blues team total over 2.5. While I do like to lean on it, Sorokin and the defense of the Islanders is so strong. I could see this being a super low scoring game, 2-1 style game here, as long as the Blues defense steps up, because we know the Islanders defense can step up. Yeah, you know what? This is one of those games. It didn't make my premium card, you guys. It's one of those games where it's so dependent on if this total goes over on how the Blues come out defensively tonight, which is never a good feeling. I like taking unders in games where I really feel strong about both defenses, like when we look at the Stars defensively and teams like that. But then the Stars kind of blew us out of the water this season with how strong they've been offensively. So I hate taking unders. I really do. But I think this game stays under that total. The next game, I can't take an under in. We got the Florida Panthers taking on the Winnipeg Jets. This game is going to be explosive, high scoring. We got a total of 6.5. I'm going to take the over. We know the Florida Panthers come in with a phenomenal offensive game. First overall in the league for getting these goals. They're averaging 38.6 shots on goal per game, which is first overall in the league, and 3.48 goals per game. Now, Connor Hellebuck is in goal for the Winnipeg Jets, which is my only concern here for the Florida Panthers, because we know how strong offensively the Florida Panthers are. But defensively and goaltending wise, this Winnipeg Jets team is so solid with Connor Hellebuck in. He's got a 2.27 goals against average. Now, on the other side of the puck, Spencer Knight, phenomenal. We saw him play one of his best games ever against the Edmonton Oilers, which we know how strong their team is offensively. He's got a 2.48 goals against average. While I do love the goaltending here, I still think this goes over based on both of these teams offensively. The Winnipeg Jets averaging that 3.22 goals per game and 31.1 shots on goal. Now, defensively, the Winnipeg Jets have the upper hand in this. They're 5th overall in the league, allowing only 2.57 and 31.4 shots on goal. 3rd best penalty kill as well. I think this game comes down to a 4-3 win. And if I have to take someone to get this win, I got to lean on the Winnipeg Jets. And you guys know that Winnipeg isn't normally one of those teams who I like to rely heavy on. But I think in this situation at home, it's a good spot to take them, especially at the value here. We're getting them at -105. Earlier in the day, they were coming in at +100. So I think we know money's coming in on the Winnipeg Jets, and I think it's the right side to be on. We look at them on a Tuesday. If you guys like any of those stats on a Tuesday, they have been solid on a Tuesday, winning 7 of their last 8. But what I like better is seeing them come in here rested. They are 4-0 in their last 4 games, playing on that 1 day's rest. Now, when we look at the Florida Panthers, they come out so strong out of the gate. I could see them taking the first period here and the Jets making us sweat in this one. So if you're liking Florida, definitely hit them in that first period, because we know how phenomenally strong they come out to start. But I think the over 6.5, definitely the way I'm going. The over has hit 17 of the last 27 meetings, 4 of those pushing. We're not going to push on this number of 6.5. If you can find a 6 out there, you're probably paying a lot of juice on this one. The Panthers have struggled in Winnipeg too. Something else to remember, going 3-7 in the last 10 meetings in Winnipeg. The road team, though, has been strong, going 4-1 in those last 5 meetings. So I'm all in on the Jets. It's a weird thing to say for me, you guys. Not normally all in on the Jets. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Yes, the last game, the Islanders had 50 shots on goal, but still lost. It's unbelievable to think. Depending on goaltending, it's exactly where you're going to go. You took the Leafs over 2.5, the Stars over 2.5, and the total over 5.5 plus 180. Same game parlay. Beautiful play there. Okay. Next game on the board. We've only got 7 games, you guys. So 3 more left, and I've got to hurry it up because the next show kicks off at the bottom of the hour here. Gonna be talking some World Cup. Got a great guest on from Wiesn. Okay. Toronto, the Maple Leafs taking on the Dallas Stars. Jake Ottinger expected for the Stars. Phenomenal goalie. Matt Murray for the Toronto Maple Leafs, phenomenal goalie. Both of these guys riding really low goals against averages with Matt Murray at 2.63 and Jake Ottinger at 2.51. Let me just see if the odds have changed here. When I got the Stars earlier this morning, they were minus 102. They're now sitting at minus 115. I do think the Stars is the right side to be on for this. Both of these defenses are so solid. Both of these teams offensively have been so good. But I look at the Stars and I think this is their, if I can talk, their situation to get things right. They've got the stronger power play, the higher shooting percentage, and they should win the face-off battles here over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, we know the Toronto Maple Leafs played a hard game that went to OT versus the Lightning that they lost 4-3. And we see the Dallas Stars coming in here off that shootout loss to the Minnesota Wild, which was heartbreaking for them, but nice for our wallets getting that 6-5 loss in that one. Both of these teams have been great, and there is a case to make on both sides. We know Toronto has come into Dallas, won those last 4 meetings, but the Stars team on one day's rest with the caliber of talent on this team, and that's nothing against the Leafs because we know the Leafs do have talent as well. I think you can't turn them down on their home ice at this low price here, now even at minus 115. So I'm going to take the Stars here. And something isn't sitting right. So when I looked at their team totals, because you guys know I look at all of these different odds, the Leafs team total over 2.5 is minus 160, which makes sense. We got a total. You can get a 6 or a 6.5 in this one. If you can get the 6, bet it over. If you get the 6.5, just leave this one alone. I don't love it. At the 6, we could push. At the 6.5, we could lose it. So stay off it, or it could hit 7. This could be a 4-3 game. But it's not sitting right because we look at the Leafs team total. Over 2.5 is minus 160. My books will not give me the over 2.5 for the Dallas Stars. And when they were the underdog coming into this game, when I found these lines, their team total they would only give me the over 3.5 at plus 138. The Leafs team total over 3.5. They were giving me closer to plus 200. It wasn't making sense. Something wasn't making sense with this line. And that's what really leaned me on the Stars to get the win. I just think it's odd and it's not sitting right. So give me the over 6 if you can get 6. Otherwise, stay off it. I would also look for a goal in that first 5 minutes. I think both these teams come out so hard offensively. Someone gets that goal in that first 5 minutes, that's at plus 160. So that's what I'm betting in this one, you guys. This game is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Okay, I'm seeing all of your comments come in here. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's make some frickin' money today. Jay, you are right. Okay, we got to speed this up, you guys. We got 2 more games, and then I will do the recap, and then join me for the Joe Madden Sports Show when I bring on my guest, Amal, and we're going to be talking World Cup. Okay, the Carolina Hurricanes and the Anaheim Ducks. This one kicks off at 10 o'clock Eastern. Have a total of 6 here. Carolina coming in as a large favorite, minus 310 here on the money line, plus 245 for the Ducks. Total of 6. Ranta expected for the Carolina Hurricanes. He's got a 2.62 goals against average. John Gibson here has a 3.98. I'm going to make this one short and fast. The Ducks have lost their last 7. They're coming home off a 4-game road trip. I'm going to fade them here. I don't think they get this first game on the board with a win over the Carolina Hurricanes. I think the Carolina Hurricanes are too strong defensively. They're getting these block shots on goal. They're only allowing 26.4 shots on goal defensively and 2.76 goals per game. When we look at the Anaheim Ducks, they are struggling to get these shots on goal right around 30.2 and only averaging that 2.42 goals per game. I don't see the goals coming in by the Ducks, even though they're going to try hard and put up their best effort. We don't get awarded for a team trying. I just don't see it happening here. The Canes just playing too solid at the moment. They've won their last 4 games. Saturday's win was over the Kings. That was a 4-2 win. They're on a long road trip here. It's a 6-game road trip. This is game 4. This is a game they want to roll in, they get the win, and move on to the next. They've got a harder schedule ahead of them than they do with the Ducks. I don't see them overlooking the Ducks. I think we just take them here on that puck line at -1.5 at -120. There's not a lot of value here. I think you got to look at the under 6 as well. Again, this is another one where I think this could be a 4-0 win for the Canes here. 3-0, 4-0 win. I think they come out and have a good night. I think Ranta is in for a shutout tonight. So if you want to sprinkle a little bit about that, I don't blame you, because I could see him coming in solid. I just don't trust the Ducks. The Ducks also 0-4 in their last 4 games on that 3rd game in a 3-4 night situation. And the Ducks 0-8 in their last 8 games in the 4th game of the 4-6 situation. So fade the Ducks. I got to fade them. The next game on the board, we have the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Seattle Kraken. Now, the Montreal Canadiens killed me last night. I have them, what was it, +176 on that money line. Had so much faith in this team. We were able to get their team total over, but I don't care. They still really choked me last night. We got them now. They have to take on the Seattle Kraken. Seattle Kraken are such a solid team. Biggest surprise in the Pacific, if you ask me, coming in here at -265 here on that money line. Now, they're off a disappointing loss. They lost to the Panthers. We all took the Kraken. Well, if you tailed me, if you faded me, congratulations. The Panthers won that one 5-1, just completely shutting down the offense of the Seattle Kraken and dominating this defense, which this defense is so solid, only allowing 27.4 shots on goal. They're really strong at that. Martin Jones expected for the Seattle Kraken, and Jake Allen for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Montreal's coming in off an overtime loss last night to the Canucks in a game that they were up, 4-0, and just let it go. I really thought they had won that game, changed the channel, came back to overtime, and watching them lose. So we also saw them lose to the Oilers in a game that they should have won as well. They play so strong against the Oilers. They just let both of these games go on the road. This Kraken team here is going to be a hard game for them, but I think they keep it a bit tighter in this one. I'm going to look for the Montreal Canadiens to cover that puck line at +1.5. Not my favorite bet of this game, but at -110, I think there is value there. They're 13-12 on that puck line on the season, and then 8-5 on the road on that puck line. I think the best value here is to take their team total, take Montreal's team total over 2.5. The books are giving us plus money for this total over 2.5. The Seattle Kraken have allowed 3.13 goals per game. I know they're limiting these shots, and the Montreal Canadiens have limited shots on goal at 29.9, but I do think they come out and get 3 goals in this one. I think this is a 4-3 win for the Seattle Kraken. I wouldn't be shocked if Montreal came out and got up to start this one as well, but we know that they just let things go. So because I think it's going to be a 4-3 win here for the Seattle Kraken, I do think this one goes to overtime, and the stats coincide with that overtime. The Canadiens, in their previous game, if they went to overtime in their next game, they have gone over the total in their last 6. They're also 6-5 to the over in their last 21 versus the Pacific. And the Kraken are 8-2 following a home loss of 3 or more goals to that over. So give me the over in this one. It should be a higher scoring game. Yeah, I can't believe they're giving us Habs here at over 2.5 at +115. I don't know. We can always count on the Habs to play interesting games for sure. Okay, let's recap. That's it, you guys. We got to do this recap fast. I've actually been noticing the recaps are way too long. So let's do the recap. I want to thank you guys for joining me, or for anyone just joining now for the recap. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone's having a great day. Okay, let's fly. The Blackhawks and the Devils. I'm going to take the Devils team total over 4. I know it's a high number at -110, but I do see these goals coming in for this team that's just dominating offensively. I'm liking Jack Hughes to score an anytime goal for them. He's just been rolling too hot. The Columbus Blue Jackets and the Pittsburgh Penguins. I like the Columbus Blue Jackets team total over 2.5 at -112. I also like the Columbus Blue Jackets not as much on that puck line at +1.5 at -105. And the over 6.5 in this one. I don't think either defense is playing solid enough for us to count on this under. Now, if Malkin plays for the Pittsburgh Penguins here, we can count on him for his shots on goal. You could look at that anytime goal, but with this illness going around, we don't know if he's going to play. He has scored a goal in 3 of his last 4 games versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. So something to watch, keep on the radar. The Detroit Red Wings and the Tampa Bay Lightning. I do think we can look at the Tampa Bay Lightning's team total over 3.5 at -130. It is a little juiced here. You can look at them on that puck line at -1.5. There's value on it. I do like them in that first period on that puck line at +116. I think this is the best value of the game. And while I do like Tampa to come out and have a big day, I really do think the Red Wings struggle in this game, so I can't touch that total. And if I did, I'd have to take the total under 6.5 because I think this game is just dominated by Tampa. The next game, we are going to roll with the LA Kings with an AHL goalie in play here. I think the Kings come out, step up defensively, give him the protection. So you can get the LA Kings here at -102. I got them -111 earlier this morning. And I'm going to take the under 6.5 because for the Kings to win this has to be a lower scoring game. The St. Louis Blues and the New York Islanders. I would love to sit here and take the Blues and have faith in this team at +140. On that money line. I just can't get there. They seem to come out and play one period, and one period only of all of these games. You need to win 3 periods to win these games, or at least 2 of them, and they just haven't been doing that. So I do lean on the Islanders here in regulation, but I think the best bet in this one is to look for the Blues defense to be able to step up and really turn things around. I'm going to take the under 6. Then between the Florida Panthers and the Winnipeg Jets, I'm going to hit the over 6.5. I think we got a high scoring game here. I wouldn't blame you if we grabbed the Florida Panthers in that first period. They come so strong out of the gate, but I think for the whole game, I got to take the Jets. I got them earlier at +100 here. We did see line movement in this. The Jets now -105. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Dallas Stars. I'm going to go with the home team here of the Stars. I know the Leafs have been playing hot, but you know that these two teams do not. We look at the Leafs. They do not keep their momentum going. They're off that OT loss to the Lightning, which is a strong position actually for them. And then we look at them playing in Dallas, and they have been strong. So I caution you with this one, taking the Stars. You got to take a little bit of a risk here. This one could come down to a little bit of puck luck, but you got to look at the over 6 in this one. Don't hit the over 6.5. At all if it comes in. Hit the over 6. And then goals in that first 5 minutes. I do think they come in. You can hit that at +160. So that's going to be a good one. The next one, we have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Anaheim Ducks. I'm going to take the Canes here on that puck line at -1.5 at -120. We don't get that much value here on them, but I do think this is one where you can look at the Canes to come out and have a big day. We just got to fade the Ducks in certain situations more than not, actually. And I think this is a good spot. And I would look at the under 6 in this one, because when we look at this total, I don't think the Ducks are able to score on the defense and the goaltending of the Canes tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if this was a 3-0, 4-0 win for the Carolina Hurricanes here. And then last but not least, We have the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Seattle Kraken. I think Montreal's team total over that 2.5 at plus 106 is definitely the way to go. Montreal on that puck line at plus 1.5. I don't mind either. I do think this is a tighter game. I see it being a 4-3 win for the Seattle Kraken. So I'm also hitting the over 6.5 as well in this one. So you guys, let's quickly build this parlay because I didn't build it when we were talking here. For the parlay. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Everyone here on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. I appreciate you guys. If you're watching anywhere but YouTube and Facebook, make sure you come over to Facebook or YouTube so that you can interact with the live chat here. I appreciate all of you guys for being in here. I see all of your comments coming in. Okay, let's build this parlay because it's going to be, we're gonna put the Devils on that puck line at minus 1.5. Don't bet that straight up. You're getting no value. But for parlay reasons, I do think they win this by 2 goals. So I'm comfortable with that. If you're a little bit worried about it, you can take them on that money line for the parlay. You're still going to get good odds. I'm going to take the over 6 between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Penguins. I think that has great value to throw into our parlay with how these defenses are playing. The Red Wings and the Lightning, I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Lightning in regulation for the parlay. For the LA Kings and the Ottawa Senators, I'm going to take the under 6.5 for the Kings and Senators. For the St. Louis Blues and the New York Islanders, I'm going to take the under 6 in this one as well. For the Florida Panthers and the Winnipeg Jets, you guys, I really think the Jets win this. It's my favorite bet of the day. Did make my premiums for anyone watching that doesn't have my premium picks. I'm hitting the Jets today at that plus 100. You can get them at minus 105 now. I'm going to take the over, though, for the parlay. The Panthers and the Jets over 6.5. For the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Dallas Stars, I do like the Stars here. But I think if you can get the over 6 for the Leafs and the Stars, that is the best way to go for this parlay. The Carolina Hurricanes, let's just take the Canes in regulation for the parlay. And then the Seattle Kraken and the Montreal Canadiens, I'm going to take the over 6.5 in this one. So just to recap, the Montreal Canadiens game take over 6.5. The Canes in regulation. The Devils minus 1.5 on the puck line. The Columbus Blue Jackets and the Penguins over 6.5. The Tampa Bay Lightning in regulation. The under 6.5 for the Kings and the Senators. The Blues game under 6. The Panthers and the Jets over 6.5. And the Leafs and the Stars over 6. Only if you can get that 6. Don't take it over 6.5. I think that is kind of a tricky one. But you guys, I will be back here in 10 minutes. Make sure you join me. I have a great guest from Wiesen. We will be talking World Cup. All you have to know, he's going to be giving you out some incredible bets moving forward in World Cup. I also have a great Wiesen guest coming, Tim Murray, on Friday for college football. Be talking some bowl games. So what I want you to do, guys, that day is we're going to have a really quick Puck It with Joe because then he is going to be on. So it's going to be a 30-minute Puck It with Joe. So make sure you have some time to stick around with me after the Puck It show. You guys have a great day. I appreciate each and every one of you. Matt, so thank you so much for joining. Rick and Gil, I appreciate you guys. I see all 3 of you guys in every single day. There's a whole bunch of you, Aiden, in here that you really make my day for being here. So have a great day, you guys. Keep smiling. Let's make some freaking money. And I'll be back tomorrow with another Puck It with Joe at 3:30 Eastern. Bye, guys.